It's weekend once again, and before I go to work this morning, I'm going to pop outside and see what we've got that we can harvest. We've had quite a mixture of results over the last few months, and you'll know by his previous videos, we've done really well at a lot of things. Some things not so good. We don't seem like we can ever get those cauliflowers to art up before they start to split open, and that's because of the bolting. And to be honest, no matter where I've lived, they always seem to come out the same. Maybe one day we'll crack that. But we have had other things that have been brilliant. We've had quite a few peas, loads of French beans, some really good carrots and tomatoes. As peppers have done better here than they did when they was back at his original house when we had greenhouses. We've also had some really good results with potatoes. This year we only did first early potatoes, and that's because they don't take too long to reach maturity, 12 to 14 weeks. And if you've seen his previous videos, you'll know that we did get some really good results out of those. So considering it's quite a small area, we've been getting quite a lot of produce out of it. And we have had quite a lot of comments as well over the last few months. People saying how bad weather's been, and I completely agree with that. It's not been the best of seasons for anybody. But we've kept at it and we've got something from it, and that's all that matters. We set up that container garden in just a few weeks. We've bought lots of pots. We've bought those big planters that have proved really useful. We've also added a greenstone vertical planter to it as well. And hopefully we'll get lots and lots of stuff out of that when we start in new season. We did get it quite late in season, but yet we're still getting lots of salads and beet leaves from it. And the French beans that I put in, which are a dwarf variety, are coming along nicely. So we're hoping to get a few pickings from those before cold weather kills those plants back, because they're not cold hardy at all. So based on the comments that we've had, lots and lots of mixed results, but they all go from one end of country to other, and certain areas have been worse than others. So I count myself lucky that we've got what we've got so far. But we're not finished quite yet. I'm going to pop outside and I'm going to have a little hunt round and see what we've got to harvest. I know we've got a couple of peppers that's ready, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than that. And I've also had an idea about a storage box that I got quite recently. And when we pop outside, I'll explain what that idea is. So let's go and take a look and see what we've got to harvest on an October Saturday morning. But just before I do pop outside, thank you so much to Paul Braithwaite for making a donation to the channel. Massively appreciated, Paul, as always. And we'll be putting that money straight back into this channel. So thank you so much for your generosity. I've just got hold of another one of these storage boxes for behind Caravan, and I thought they're a very good use for it. This one was left behind when somebody decided to get rid of the van. So once it's sat there for a certain amount of time, if you want it, you can take it. So that's the original one that we had. And now I've got this one. And what I'm going to do with this is empty all my stuff out of it. And I'm going to use it to store compost over winter. We've got lots and lots of these containers that had plants in, and we've emptied them now, so they're just stood there. So it's going to be ideal to empty these out into that box, get rid of any weeds and roots, and then we can amend it with fish blood and bone. And then we've got a little compost bin, and that's going to save us a bit of money come new season. And we still keep getting these as well, golden raspberries. They were quite late starters, but we are now starting to see some fruit from them. I also noticed on this plant we've got some fruit ready to pick. They're hot peppers, and they're called Armageddon. One's not as ripe as other, but I'm sure they're very hot already. And we've still got a couple more growing as well. I've also got a couple more peppers ready on this plant. Quite late in season for peppers, but they are still trying to ripen, so I think they've done really well this year considering they've not been in a greenhouse. But these aren't going to grow any bigger now. But the good thing is they are ripening. This one got knocked off with wind, so it's not quite as ripe, but we'll use it anyway. And that's another nice little pepper. Just found a couple more on this plant as well. This one's got loads and loads of peppers on it, and they're all starting to ripen. Hopefully they'll get there before cold weather starts to kill them off. That is a lot of peppers on a small container plant. But round that side we have got another that's ready to go. There we go, another really nice one. And I'm still getting strawberries. There's a few left on this plant as well. I think we'll have a lettuce while we're here. So I've got some nice ones in this green stalk planter. Another nice little gem. And on this plant we've got a really good sized pepper that's fully ripe for October. How good's that? Also looks like we've got some more tomatoes. Another nice little harvest there. That's his last tomato plant season, and it's looking a bit worse for wear, so I'm going to strip off what I can and we'll get that cut down and taken away. But we have done really well for tomatoes this year, considering everything is outside. Really nice, sweet cherry tomatoes. I think considering time of year, we've done really well there. Some good sized tomatoes, some nice little cherry tomatoes. We've got strawberries and golden raspberries. We've got hot chili peppers and quite a few of these really nice sweet peppers. And don't forget that little gem lettuce. So I'm really pleased the way that this container gardening is working out, especially considering that everything is being grown outside. We're not using a greenhouse at all. And we've now got that idea of putting all the old compost into that spare box, so we can amend that come early spring, and we're already off to a good start. Anyway, if you want to see what else we get between now and end of season, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.